A room of my own is a multifaceted dressing table, but also a shrine inhabited by all the influential women in my life. My first memory as a child was a group of my mom's friends, multi-generational women, sitting together in a circle every afternoon, talking at the top of their voices. There was that real sense of community, of women supporting each other. And I think that for me was a very potent memory of female solidarity and community and beauty. I've been quite shy about my drawings, and although drawing has been a very integral part of my creative process, it's the first time that my drawings are going to be shared in such a public way, in such a prestigious art gallery. You know, for me, design is about joy, it's about celebration. Whereas within the context of Europe, design is always defined as something that's about problem solving, and it's very technical, and it has to solve a need. For me, design is a way to celebrate life, essentially, and to enjoy our material environment. So I think that maybe I feel a bit more confident that I can be whoever I want to be.